How did you come into contact with the Hare Krishna movement?
Through, actually, initially, it was, you could say, through George Harrison, my sweet Lord. And then some years later, I met Tribhuwanath and went to one of his festival programs in Reading. I explain it that when I was 16, I left school, and I was watching Top of the Pops, and both the parents were out. The house was empty for some reason, so I was watching by myself, and of course the devotees came on the telly, you know. The first week I thought, the first week was Tony Blackburn was on it, that's right, hosting it. He said, here's the Hare Krishnas, and they sung it. And then, I think they were on for about 3 weeks. But then the third week I was singing it. So they said, by singing, you get some sort of, you actually start your spiritual life. So then, in between 69, 70 to 91, I didn't see one devotee, not one book, nothing. And then I was walking through the town in Reading, and Narahari, Prabhu, you know Narahari, he gave me an invitation to the Hare Krishna festival in one hall in Reading. So then, let's see, I said I'll go, but let's see what my shift is, because I was working nights. So it depends on what my shift, you know, my night off is on my night shift. So if I'm off, that I'll definitely come. So somehow it was correct that it was my night off, so I went to the festival, and that's how I was introduced.
So what were you doing before you came to
I was
Krishna
just a security guard, that's all. Nothing else, nothing special.
Thanks, Prabhu. When did you take initiation, and what attracted you to your Guru Maharaj?
It was 97 it was, and it was actually one. He was always singing at the time he was singing a lot the 31st chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, the song of separation by the gopis are feeling separation, because Krishna has left the Rasa Leela and they're feeling separation from Krishna. So there's a whole chapter, which is the 31st chapter of the 10th canto. It's called the Gopi Gita, and it's only 21 verses. So he was singing that chapter to one nice sweet melody. That's what attracted me.
Who's your Guru Maharaj?
But His Holiness Bhakti True Maharaj.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, what is your main service?
A Vajari service. That's it. And of course, chanting, and that's it.
And what other services have you done? Have you done any other kind of service?
Been in the garden. Food course, food for all, or food for life at the time, for years, many years. Only about 10 years I did food. For about 10 years I did at the time it was Food for Life, then due to some other reasons, we had to change it to Food for All.
What keeps you going as a devotee of Krishna? What inspires you to remain?
The instructions, the instructions of especially one instruction given by His Holiness Gaura Govinda Maharaj, where he says, never leave, and Bhakti Maharaj, he says the same thing. He said, never leave Prabhupada, and never leave ISKCON. Sometimes they say the institution, said, you may not like the institution, but unfortunately the institution is here, but never leave Srila Prabhupada. That's how I follow that instruction. In other words, don't jump ship, you know. And the other day I was speaking to one Gaudiya sannyasi, and I explained that. He said the same thing. He said, never leave Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. Never leave.
As a devotee, what realizations have you had? If you'd like to share any, or if they're personal, then...
No, there's one that actually there's many, but the ultimate one is how only by the mercy of the pure devotee, the Mahabhagavat Sri Guru, that we can only get Krishna. Only through that, through their mercy, can we actually get Krishna. No, there's another means, another way.
Anything else you'd like to share?
And of course, the ultimate spiritual master is Srimati Radharani, because it says, I've been reading lately that and Govind Maharaj, he explains that how that by the mercy of Srimati Radharani can we get Krishna. And he backs it up by scripture, by Sastra as well, from the Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita. I think it's Adilila 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So is it one? I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. That where Radharani is explaining. Sorry, Krishna Kaviraj is explaining. Krishna is saying that Radharani's love is my guru, and I am her disciple. So Radharani is the ultimate spiritual master, guru. So by her mercy, we can get Krishna, but we cannot approach Radharani directly. We have to go through the previous acharyas, who are manjaris or gopis in Krishna Lila.
Do you have a favourite pastime of Lord Krishna? And are you attracted to any specific form of the Lord?
I'm very attracted to Lord Nityananda very much, because by his mercy we can approach Radha and Krishna. I'm very attracted to Lord Nityananda, yes. But there's so many pastimes. I've got no favourite ones, really, as such. But they're all very sweet. But I can't say I haven't got a favourite one, of course, because they're unlimited. You know, there's so many pastimes we don't even know about. So if we think, oh, I know all Krishna's leelas, Radha Krishna's leelas, then we're actually mistaken. There's so many we don't even know. That the acharyas are actually revealing to us in their writings.
So there's none that are more...
No. Of course, the ultimate one is the Rasa Leela. That's the ultimate one.
But are there any that are more juicy to you?
No, they're all the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the Vrindavan pastimes, not talking about the Dwarka, Mathura pastimes, but the Vrindavan pastimes, yes.
What advice would you give to new devotees to maybe help and encourage them in their spiritual lives, and how to inspire them and to keep them enthusiastic?
If one is enthusiastic about chanting, then one will be enthusiastic about doing their service. This is a secret I found for me, that if you're enthusiastic about chanting, because without chanting, you could do services. If you're not chanting, it'll be just dry. But if you're enthusiastic about chanting, that enthusiasm will overspill into your service, whatever service it may be. If it's book distribution, cleaning the temple, cleaning the toilets, or maybe the gardens, cooking, that enthusiasm will be there if we are enthusiastic about chanting. So if we're enthusiastic, then that will keep us going. Even though sometimes the services may be a bit tough sometimes, but in that situation you just have to be enthusiastic to carry on. But to that you have to be enthusiastic. For me, you have to be enthusiastic by chanting year rounds.
That's the end of my questions, Prabhu. Do you have anything you'd like to add yourself? Anything more? Today's a special day.
Yeah, today is a Bhattacharya's day, of course. Bhattacharya Guru, and residing in Mayapur Dham for 4 years. And so many times I went to... My service in Mayapur was taking devotees on parikrama. So many times we went to Shantipur. One of the houses of Bhattacharya, because he had two houses. He had one in Mayapur, one's at Srivasangam, and the other one's in Shantipur. So of course I went to both so many times, and so when So when I think of these days like Bhattacharya's appearance day and Nityananda's appearance day and Gorpanin, I always, I always think of those places where I used to go and see every day and talk about. So it's said that if you just actually remember these places, even though you're physically sitting or living in the West somewhere, New York, Tokyo, or maybe London, but if you're thinking of Holy Dham, you're actually in the Holy Dham by just thinking of these places. Because like last week, I was hearing a lecture, and actually I heard that each lecture, I heard 2 or 3 lectures, and each time the different speakers said the same thing for a few seconds, because it was about the glories of the Ganga, and it said even if you just think about the Ganga and chant and shout or chant the name of the Ganga or Ganga 3 times, you're actually reciting, you're actually taking a bath in Ganga. So that's how powerful she is, things like that. So we could be living in, and there's also been an experience. So when I first joined, there's a famous story that this devotee is still in Mayapur, and he still tells it. And but I won't mention who it is, of course. So this one devotee, he at the time he was living in Mayapur for 15 years. So one time he went to take bath in Ganga, and sometimes the Ganga, there's whirlpools. So as he was swimming, he got caught in a whirlpool. And if you get caught in a whirlpool, you're generally finished, you drown. But by Ganga's mercy and Mahaprabhu's mercy, a boatman was nearby and put out his long oar, and he got hold of the long oar and pulled him out. So then, when he got on the shore, he was asked the question, "What were you thinking of when you were drowning?" He said, "Yeah, I was going down for the 3rd time, so I was about to go. And as I was going down, the one TV advert came to me." He said, "What was that?" He said, "Hands that do dishes can feel soft as your face, with mild green, very liquid." And this showed me that now I've been living, or so-called living in Holy Dham for so many years, but I'm not conscious of it. I've still got the material consciousness. So we could be living in Holy Dham, any Holy Dham, not just Mayapur or Vrindavan, any, and we could still have a material consciousness. And this vice versa, we could be living in London, anywhere, and we could be thinking Holy Dham and we're in Holy Dham. It's like one time Srila Prabhupada, he was, I think this is in New York, one of the temples in New York, and he was on his morning walk, and for some reason they were running short of time to get back at the 7 o'clock darshanati. So they took a shortcut through some back alley. On the back alley there was a load of drunkards, beer cans, you name it, trash all over the place, and drunkards spread all over on the floor in the corner, sleeping it off. And the devotees then said, apologize for Prabhupada. So I'm sorry, Prabhupada, that we have to put you through this. See this sight. He says, no. He said, this is Vrindavan. This place is Vrindavan. Because one time on another morning walk, this is in, again, New York, the Battery Park it was. And Prabhupada said, today there's no talk, just japa. That's it. So Prabhupada was ahead, chanting his japa. And this Maharaj, he was directly behind Prabhupada, and he was chanting so intensely that Prabhupada looked at him, gave him his looked at him with a merciful glance, merciful eyes. And from that moment, this sannyasi, he could see all around him. He could see that Battery Park had transformed into Vrindavan. He could see Mother Yashoda, Krishna Balaram, the gopis, the gopas, the elder gopis, cows, all around him he could see. And then after some time, it went back to Battery Park, but he realized this is only by the mercy of the pure devotee that one can do it, by the merciful glance of the pure devotee that one can do this. So we have to get the merciful glance of the pure devotee, and that will keep us going in Krishna consciousness.